Hi guys and welcome to my video. Today we're just doing a little speed clean of my house and some painting. When I filmed this video it was actually start of the new astrological year, so I was just feeling that whole spring cleaning, fresh start kind of vibes. So we just cleaned the kitchen and honestly we had loads of dishes to do, so that's mainly what I recorded. And then after a little bit of cleaning, we go do some painting. I've been craving using my oil paints for quite a while now, so I think we're gonna do that. Enjoy! So after I finished the dishes, I just decided to give the kitchen a quick clean and wipe down. I'm just using like my Eco kitchen spray from Tesco and giving everything a good wipe over. Just with everything going on at the moment, I'm feeling like everything needs wiping a little bit more. I'm at home at the moment, but my partner is a key worker, so he is constantly coming into the house, and as best as we can, we are trying to wash our hands. But you never know what he touches and then comes in and turns the kettle on. So we also got a new kitten recently, so the chores like sweeping has taken an absolute backseat, and also kittens just generally make more mess when they're in the tray, so that's what you can see me doing here, just trying to sweep up that litter and then get that floor nice and clean again. Then we've also been shutting the new kitten in our bedroom just for a few days while it gets used to the space, so we can introduce it to our existing cat. However, our existing cat is really unhappy about this and cries every night. So my partner has been sleeping on this like memory foam mattress topper on the living room floor most nights. So I was just giving that a quick tidy up so we can pretend that we're not living in our living room currently. Just starting my painting process, I'm going to paint over an existing canvas I have that I don't really like the painting underneath, just with some white acrylic paint. If I had gesso, I'd probably have done it with gesso, because obviously that would have been much better for oil paints. I'm now going to mix some paints as well. I don't always do this, but I have absolutely no plan for what I was about to paint on this canvas. And what I just decided would help me best was just mix up some colours that I thought I was going to use. So I kind of knew I was going for nature, so I did like a brown and some greens and some blues, just some colours so I can speed things up. Honestly, the colours I made are pretty yucky and my palette is pretty grim, so let's all not take this as any advice, please. So to quickly explain what I'm doing, I am simply using hog brush, and I'm dipping it in my paint dilutant because I'm using water-soluble Winsor & Newton oil paints, and they have a water-soluble kind of like paint thinner, so I'm just using that. But honestly, all the colours are kind of pastelizing and washing out because they're mixing with the white acrylic paint underneath, which actually hadn't dried. I'm not sure I like this effect, and I'm going to go back over this once the oil paints and the acrylic is kind of dried a bit more, so I'm going to give it a day or two. So I was just kind of blending colours. Started with the pink. I think we've gone for a sunset, some mountains, some trees. I'm kind of doing everything in the wrong order, and I'm not layering properly. I should have not done this green bush at the front. I should have done the lake and the trees in the background first. But you live and you learn, and I'm going to let it dry and we can go back over all this kind of stuff and put in the proper details. So this is what it looked like basically after the first days or first session painting on it. I use this really kind of as a background colour, and I add more details in after letting it dry for a couple of days. So that's what we'll show you now. So I know it looks like not a lot has changed, but this is actually 3 days later. It took me a long time to come back to this project because I didn't like the way that first kind of session looked. So I'm touching at the water. The water I decided was way too bright to the colour. I needed to get the reflections of the mountains in the water, and I needed to also get the kind of like colours from the sunset to reflect. The next thing I decided to kind of try and work on was the trees at the footfalls of the mountains. Again, I actually don't like the way this turned out in this. I think they're too dark, and it's something that I'll have to go back to another day. What I had imagined was the bushes at the front in my first kind of go. I decided to turn into hills of like forests of like pine trees or tall trees. So I tried to get that effect where I used lots of little tiny brush strokes to make it look like cascading hills coming down to the water of trees. And I think that one worked a bit better. Again, I don't know if the colours quite worked. I used blue and yellow straight out of the tube, and I perhaps regret that. I think they've turned out to be quite bright and primary, and I think it could do with perhaps more reds and browns in it. So we're just taking a little intermission here from the painting. My kitten decided that she was desperate to get involved and leave her mark on the painting. She's only about 9 weeks old. We got her about a week ago. She's very adorable and very curious. So I'm happy with the sky. The mountains I haven't touched, I actually think are kind of cute, although I don't know what I did there. The trees I am now much happier with. Water, much happier, nice reflection. The brown mess in the middle, fucking hate, and I can't decide what I want to do with it to make it look less shit. But honestly right now, this cavern's about to die. This kitten is being a pain in my ass. And I've just discovered that there is a cat sick under the table. So I'm going to go. Goodbye.